This is Eliana, and I'm here today with my partner Luis, and we're going to talk about methods in the didactic methods in the teaching of a second language. So, Luis, how important do you think is to define a didactic method to advance a teaching learning strategy of a foreign language?
Hi, Elena. Yeah, I think that define the Latin method is fundamental in order to teach something. Obviously, more if we are talking about how to teach a second language or a foreign language, mainly the English language, because it provides a structure, a coherence, and a direction to the teaching learning process. It gives an organization about what you're gonna do, what the steps you're gonna to follow, and what is the order of these steps. This promotes effectiveness. This is gonna optimize what time are you gonna use, what things you're gonna need, and it also facilitates a continuity and a progression. If you're gonna to have a class for more than a session, it's necessary to know what you're gonna to teach in each lesson. I don't know, what do you think about it?
I think you have a key point in there. So, which method would you use?
Okay, yeah. I think that there are many different methods that we can use for these cases. One that I like is the direct method. The direct method is mainly that I think that is one of the common methods that is mainly used on these times and nowadays. That it is a show you something or a teach you something like, I don't know, like a pen or like a pencil, and show you how it is on the mainly language that you have, your primary language, I don't know, Spanish, Portuguese, and teach you how will be the tra- uh, the the direct signification of this thing on the English language. It also relates like sounds, like things, like images that you can relate with an English to a different language. I don't know, what method do you like or do you want to use on these cases?
Well, for me, I think I would use a structural approach. Since it's a system, it's going to help students to get the structure of whatever language they want to use in a logical progression. So it's like when you're teaching maths, it goes with sounds, words, and sentence patterns. So it's used to communicate meaning, and it emphasizes teaching grammar. So it could be useful, especially for a survival student that is just learning the language. And also, it goes from the easiest topic to the hardest one. So I would use that one.
Okay, and also I know, and I also use a method that it is mainly used for like students, like underage students, like infants or teenagers. That is a total physical response method. That it is mainly based on give you instructions or orders in the target language that you want to learn, like stand up, open the book, point to the door, and the teacher is gonna to know that the student is understanding what he's explaining by the physical response that he is giving. The physical association also helps the students to internalize the vocabulary, much like the way that the students like their first language. I don't know if you maybe know another method that you wanted to mention.
Of course, I would like to mention constructivism. It's an important method since it goes with the experience of the student. So it constructs knowledge through experience, reflection, and interaction rather than just receiving random information. So we have the grammar part from the part of a structural approach and part of the experience in this case. This means that students learn by using language in real and meaningful ways, often through collaboration, problem solving, and personal engagement. So it's going to help the students to improve the critical thinking.
Yeah, you're right. Also, I would like to ask you, I don't know, what do you think about what aspects make it possible to determine the most appropriate didactic method when deciding to trace a route for the teaching of a foreign language?
Well, it depends, I think, in a social point, in a cultural aspect as well, also ages. For example, when you mention the total physical response, it came to my mind when you're teaching to children. So it would be easier for them. So you have to consider the age. Also, for example, constructivism, maybe I think is it focus more in adult people, um, especially for that because they already have the enough experience to build the knowledge. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. You mentioned the age. I think that there is a mainly characteristic that that you need to have on account because the physical characteristics that you have on your students, the age, the cognitive development, and the prior knowledge that they have before the class that you're gonna teach, what motivation they have on that moment, what context do you have, that it is maybe a formal or an informal instruction or
Mhm.
education, what resources do you have, the availability of this, like what classroom are you gonna have, how big it is the classroom, what materials you're gonna have, and also what is the ability to adapt methods for the students. Because if you are with some students that they are attached to a method that they previously used, maybe it's going to be difficult for them to teach another one. I don't know, what do you think?
Eh, it is important what you say. So we can say in conclusion that we cannot just focus in one single method when teaching to a student. It has to be a collection of different techniques and method to improve a classroom.
Yeah, you're right, because I think that we live on an era that it is necessary to have many different options about, for example, if you are gonna use a classroom that you have some materials for some specific students and one of the students is not there, or maybe the material is damaged for any reason, you need to change your method. And yeah, you can take everything that you need from all the methods that you have and create another one, a different one for the classroom that you're going to teach on that moment.
Okay, you're right. Oh, Luis, it has been a pretty instructive conversation, and I hope to see you again soon.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.
Bye.